Hi, everyone, to all the beautiful souls out there. Welcome to Exploring Coaching, a platform or a channel where world-class coaches and leaders gather to share wisdoms and information for the benefits of all. Well, today I would like to welcome Coach Mai, a mindset coach, very successful coach from Hanoi. She has been doing a lot of mindset coaching to her clients in Hanoi and also being a kind and generous person. She has been serving the NGOs, coaching the younger generations and even adults. Wow, I'd like to applaud you for that wonderful work, Coach Mai. Welcome.
Thank you, Rehmiee. Thank you for your warm welcome. It's so good to be here with you again for the second time. I feel so honored.
So, well, we all have different desires, different goals, and different needs. Maybe you have experienced or any of the beautiful souls out there, whereby when a time where we reach our goals or desire, and yet deep inside, we still feel that there's something unfulfilled. Like what sometimes people say, well, I feel so rich inside. I have a big house, I have a big cars, everything is big. But when I sit down in my room at night, I felt so broke. Why is that so? But yet there are a group of people that felt so broke on the outside. Not if we talk about big cars and all that. I don't even have a car, they say, but I felt so rich inside me. Why is that so? Well, today we're going to explore the work by Chloe Mandan and Tony Robbins, made famous by them in the 70s and 80s. According to them, these two experts, they say a person felt unfulfilled even though they have reached the pinnacle of success, reached their desire, reached their goals, is because underneath all those unhappiness, there are unfulfilled needs. And they come up with these 6 core human needs, universally across the board, irrespective of where you come from. These 6 core human needs plays a very, very important role in our life. Well, Coach Mai, I let you have the honor to reveal what is the first core human needs to our beautiful audience. Coach Mai.
Thank you, Rehmiee. This is one of my favorite topics, the 6 core human needs. And as you said, it's the work done by Tony Robbins, was famous speakers and trainers. And also, I have the honor to attend the emotional fitness programs done by Joe Panel, who used to be the lead trainer of the International Coaching Institute, and he's running the program called the Emotional Fitness Formula Program. And what Joe said, so what Tony Robbins explained is the 6 conists explain why we do what we do. And he called it the invisible forces. And understand it will help us to understand why we behave in certain way in certain circumstances, what happens in our relationship, in business. So the first need is the need for certainty. So let me take you through quickly the 6 needs that Tony Robbins laid out. The first one is the needs for certainty. Under EFF programs, Joe Panel also call it security, comfort, or safety. The second need is the needs for, let me call it uncertainties. But Joe's also have different names for it: variety, challenge, and adventures. The third need is the need for significance. Fourth need is needs for connection and love. Fifth one is growth, and sixth one is contribution.
Well, interesting, right? Well, I'm sure this need for certainty. Now, before I come to this session with you, I gotta make sure there's some level of certainty that you will show up, or make sure my Wi-Fi is working.
Yeah.
And the chair that I'm sitting on also make sure it can support me. That kind of certainty that I need before I sit on that chair. If not, I will have fall. So I think that first need is quite crucial in our human needs, right? Whereby in terms of for us to feel safe to exist in this world. What say you, Mai? Yeah.
That's true. That's totally true. It's a base needs for everyone. The first needs that we need, everybody in this planet needs for safety and certainty. It's the base need that all of it have. However, the level, how much that you need for to meet your needs for certainty in different person will be different.
Yes. But imagine too much of a certainty. For me, it's not healthy too. Imagine if every day, if you were to ask me, Rehmiee, eat chicken rice, chicken rice, chicken rice. Now, I think
So
at the
you can
end,
guess what you would have.
at the end of fifth day, I say, well, enough of that kind of certainty. I would want to look for varietiness in my life. Why not have some curry rice instead of chicken rice every day? Which I think that would lead us to the second needs, which is the human needs for uncertainty or varietiness. Now, in your opinion, through coaching, Mike, how important is this needs to a person?
Thank you, Rehmiee. I think I like your example about eating the same thing. You're right. Um, if we have something that we can foresee repeatedly, we'll get bored. And that is one example about food. But say, for example, at work, if you keep doing the same thing, you know everything about it, and I myself, for example, when I was in a previous job, when I do everything, like I kind of things that I know things around, and I see no progress, no growth at all, and it becomes boring for me. Now that is the reason why we need the need for uncertainty, or it called the need for variety or challenge, because that will bring. We won't say that we need some spice in your life, right, to make it more lively, and so that is the reason why we need to meet our need for uncertainty or challenge or variety.
Yeah, that's true. But according to Tony, that he said, I think there are three ways a person can fulfill their needs. Whether it's first is when you fulfill your needs, is it empowering you, or is it neutral, nothing, not so much of an impact, or disempowering to you? Now, saying about this empowering, it reminds me of some people, my friends say, hey, need some varietiness in life. I need some stimulants. So I think that's why they use this as a reason, to go into things like maybe sometimes drugs, sometimes alcohol, all these stimulants to give them like a different kind of feeling as compared to their mediocre life. But in that way, if they use that substance kind of thing to fulfill their needs, I think it's going to be very, very destructive.
That's true. And let me say this, certainty and uncertainty, if we meet our needs in a resourceful way, it will be empowering. But if we meet it in an unresourceful way, it will be disempowering. And say, for example, if you just quoted an example, the need for variety. Some people are getting bored in their world and would look for something different in their lives. And one of the unresourceful way for meeting their needs for uncertainty would be use of drugs or alcohol, or they could be some example like creating drama for themselves, so they would have to do something to talk about or to do, um, and also there's one important point that I wanted to mention here, that uh, certainty and uncertainty are in paradox. They seem like contradict and opposite, but actually they complement each other. So we need to have a healthy dose of certainty and uncertainty in our life. And which level of certainty and as uncertainty that can be accepted by each person will be different.
Yes.
Now, if we have high certainty, low uncertainty, we can get war, right? No growth, depression.
Yes.
However, if we get too much uncertainty and little uncertainty, we can get overwhelmed, we can get stressed, we can get burnout, and anxiety, all that sort of thing. Yeah.
Which what you say makes a lot of sense. Reminds me of myself that there are times whereby I'm a person that, well, I would like a lot of certainty before I make a move, my next move. On the other hand, this kind of thinking backfires to me, which make me stagnant and stuck. Like, at times we just have to take risks. I told myself, there are no 100% certainty in life. If I were to wait and wait, the time will never come.
Yeah, you just reminded me of one of the unresourceful way of use of meeting the high need for certainty is procrastination.
Yeah.
We just wait and make sure that only when these things happen, then we will take the next step. So we ended up hoping meeting our needs for certainty and end up with procrastination.
Yes, that's where some people say, wait for the right time to come, Rehmiee, then I will act on it. Or I will wait for the right person to come, then I have a good relationship. I think there's no such thing as the right time or the right person.
Right.
It's all about us being the right person or us making it the right time to make the move, right?
Yeah,
So,
that is the reason why that people say that in order to get something, to experience our life, we need to step our comfort zone and move it into courage zone. That's what.
So in a nutshell, through coaching journey, Coach Mai, how can a person use this need to fulfill this need of uncertainty or variety in an empowering way to help a person grow?
Well, the need for certainty, for example, it could be, say when you are stressed at work, maybe you're overwhelmed. Stress happens when you have a lot of uncertainty around and you don't know how to handle it. And at work, you can be very stressed. And one of the way that I suggested my clients to do is you need to find balance by meeting your needs for certainty, by going out and doing any hobbies that you like. Anything that you like, could be sport, could be music, could be painting, singing, dancing, whatever, just to balance out, because that is when you meet the needs for certainty and you can balance it with the amount of uncertainty that you have to deal with at that moment. Another way to meet that needs for certainty in a very resourceful way is that when you want to establish a good habits for yourself, so could be consistency could be key.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Well said. Well, which brings us to the third need of what you mentioned just now, the need to feel significant. I myself, I admit that I would like to feel significant. I want to be unique. I want to importance in my life. I admit that, but not many out there who can say that, well, I want to feel important, but come on, man, human, who wants to feel neglected in life? Who wants to
That's
be
true.
left behind? No
Yeah.
one,
Nobody. Yeah.
nobody, right?
Yeah.
So how can a person to meet this need again so that there's a sand line between I want to feel significant and I want to feel like selfish just for my own needs.
Mm.
How do we draw that sand line, Coach Mai?
Okay. So, like you said, the needs, everybody have the needs for significance. The needs for significance here is would mean they wanted to be, all of us want to be valued, to be seen, to be heard,
Yeah.
to be respected, to be acknowledged that we matter and our work matters, to be recognized. So everybody need it. So we, if we understand that, we would need that, we would know how to treat our partners, our family members, our colleagues in the right way. Say even cleaner in the office, when you walk into your office, you see your guard or your cleaner, just a word of saying hello to them, meeting their needs of significance, because they themselves want other paying attention to them and respect them and seeing value. So just by saying hello and asking how they are every day would be already meeting a part of the need for significance.
Yes, you got it right. I think a simple hello, how are you? I think that will make
That's
a
true.
person's
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. And
Right?
in coaching, we all know listening, active listening, validating our clients. Yeah.
Many times when we try to talk or have a conversations with someone before we even finish our sentence, the person already butt in. You know, how can I feel that I'm being heard? You know, what I'm going to voice out matter. So there's no feeling of significant in communications also, right?
Can I ask you a question? Just a scenario. Have you experienced this? Because it's just reminded me. Have you ever been in a group where you said something and nobody paid attention to you?
Yeah.
And then you told yourself that, oh, am I in the right environment? What am I doing here? Maybe this is not the place for me. Have you been in that situation?
Many times, many times.
That is when your needs for significance is not met.
Yes. I mean, come on, give each others a space to voice out, even when we are in a group. But
Mhm.
through my experience, I find that there are many out there, but even I myself doing it last time without me realizing it, when someone say, oh, you know that I have this fall, for example, I fell down, then someone would have butt in and say, no, this just the mile, I had a harder fall than you. It's like they are trying to hijack the conversations.
Mm,
Suddenly, instead of all people listening to the person who started off the conversation, suddenly you channel all that it become all about you. I think
mm,
that's
mm,
not a nice thing to do, right?
mm.
In terms of the feeling, I think that you mentioned just now. Imagine if we are the one felt that way, when
Mm.
we go back and say, well, I don't feel that I belong to this group. Next time outings, count me out.
So there are givers of significance and there are getter of significance. Or in other words, it's a different way to say resourceful use of needs for significance and unresourceful use. So a giver of significance would be somebody who show their master in their field, who do it, use their expertise to contribute, and who's willing to do, say, volunteer work just to serve the community.
Yes.
The
which
gap of significant wouldn't get
yeah,
attention by everybody by creating drama or wanting to control, putting other down,
yeah,
look down others so they can feel, so everybody else can feel their importance, uh, involving in gossip.
gossip, yes.
Yeah.
Which I think you brought up a very good point, Mai. This creating of drama just to feel significant, getting the attentions and all that. This not only happen in the adult world, it happens a lot in the child's world, children especially, those that being not to say physically neglected by their parents, but emotionally neglected, lack
Right.
of attention. You know,
Mm, mm,
so it's like when they try to express their emotions or when they try to express their needs to their parents, the parents say, "Ah, okay, not now, not now.
mm,
Now it's not the right time. I'm busy, blah, blah, blah." And at the end, in school, they will create funny drama. Yeah. Which you just can't believe it. A kids like that so well behaved, how come create this unnecessary drama just to get the parents' attention or the teachers' attention?
mm. Because so it's also, I think in my view, their needs for significance are not met, but also it links to the fourth need, that needs for love and connection, because they wanted to only by showing that there's attracting attention by others, then they would get acknowledged by their parents, and maybe only by that way would they think as a kid, they think that they would get love, connection, love from their parents.
Yes. So this meeting these needs of significant, it's a very two sword, uh, head kind of thing. If we use it,
Yeah.
especially now, violence has been happening since mankind, long time till now, still happening. Why? For example, like maybe a strangers that has got nothing to do with you, totally insignificant at all, suddenly point a gun or a knife at you.
Mm,
And
mm.
I feel significant,
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Because your
Yeah.
life is in my hand now. I'm holding a gun or a knife, right? And what happened next? I don't know. Depends on whether you follow my order or not. Now, just by pointing a gun or a knife at you, I'm fulfilling a few of my needs here. Need of significance, the need of varietyness, certainty, all three or four at once,
Yeah.
but in a very destructive way. Like, this is
Yeah.
sad,
Yeah.
right? When a person fulfill their needs in a very disempowering way.
That's why I said before that every needs, especially the first four needs, which we call Tony Robbins and Joe also call it the needs of personality. Especially those four needs, we always have the bright side and the dark side of it. Yeah.
Yes. Which just now you mentioned the need for the connection or love, which is also, wow, this is a very important a part of a person's life. Some
Mm.
people may say, come on, Rehmiee, you're such a feminine side. Such a masculine, macho. I don't need to get connected. I can do it all alone. Now, no man is an island. You can't do things by yourself. Come on,
No, no.
right? You need to get connected with each other, which
Mm.
brings me to this. Now you just look at the social media. A lot of successful actor, actresses focusing on their career, boom, all the way up, get the fame, get the money and all that. But suddenly when they look around, no genuine connections or
Mm.
genuine love person that they can connect to. And that's why they felt the emptiness in them. And
Mm.
you can see in the news a lot of suicidal cases among the rich and the famous people,
mm,
not
mm.
just because of money. So how can this part of connections or love uh, help really like bring meaning to a person's life in the through coaching? Maybe you can share through your experience.
Thank you. I think like you said before, that everybody have a need for connection, and we are born to connect with each other, like nature, right? If we are imagine that every single one of us is like different cell in our bodies, we just need to get connected to function. And the again, there's the resourceful and unresourceful way of meeting that needs. Whether we would have connect in a functional relationship that would have both side growth, like you join a coaching school where you have like-minded community who are ready to be there, support you to grow, and who are also be there when you face challenges. So they will validate you, they will encourage you to move forward to achieve a goal. Now, on the other hand, if you have meet that need in a unresourceful way, it could happen. It could end up with a non-functional, of course, relationship. Connection through problem rather than through people. It could be connection through the drama that they share. And if we, especially if we try to meet it in a unresourceful way, we may violate our boundary just to fit in and get the love and connection with others. Like, for example, if you were in a group with a group of friends, and if they say something that you feel could be a bit embarrassing to you, but you decided not to say anything because you wanted to stick with that group, because you were afraid that if you say anything, although inside you wanted to say something, but you decided not to say anything because you were worried that if you say something, they will leave you, or you would not have it. You would not have the opportunity to stick with that group, the group of person that you always connect with regularly. So that is when you violate your own boundary just to fit in.
Which I think give birth to another group of people called the people pleaser.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Ended up just for the sake of fulfilling my needs to be connected to the group or to that person. I become a people pleaser, which is a very harmful, but many are aware of. Even I myself, when I look back, I say, wow, this is an act of people pleasing. No, it's time to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can still fulfill my needs, but in a more healthy way by being aware and conscious of what I'm doing. Well, I'm still connecting, but in a healthy way, like what we are connecting right now.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to be very mindful of how we meet our needs.
Yeah, which I think we just completed the first four fundamental needs of a human, which is very, very important. Now,
Yeah.
if a person can fulfill that first four, well, I think your basic fundamental needs would have been taken care of. But that doesn't stop there. As a human, we need not only human, whatever living thing in this world, be the plant also needs to grow. Right? That is so, so important also, the needs to grow. Well, I give you the honor Tell us more about this needs, Mai.
Thank you, Remy. I would like to quote what Joe shared with us during the emotional fitness programs. He called it these four needs as the gateway to fulfillment and meaningful life. Needs for contribution and growth. Um, everybody. So we need to see that we are growing each day, and we'll see that our life will be more meaningful when we can make contribution uh, to others and make others' life, creating impact to other lives. And that is the gateway for fulfillment. That is what we were shared by Joe in the emotional fitness programs.
Yes, very true. If even I myself, if I feel that I'm not growing in any certain aspects of my life, it's like mentally I'm dying. Yeah, I just like a plant. So I need to like wake up and nurture that part of me to make sure that I'm still growing.
Mhm.
And I believe learning or lifelong education is one of them, whereby we can still grow our mental part, the mental muscle of a person, not necessarily, in terms of growing in the, well, if can grow in terms of financial, in terms of health, other aspect, well, that gives a lot of fulfillment as a person, right? So through your coaching journey, Mai, what usually are the roadblocks that people face when it comes to meeting this kind of needs, especially the need to grow? Can you please share with us?
I think the challenge would be, I think everybody would be want to grow. I guess the challenge would be the courage to step out of the comfort zone and do something different. And again, that would not only meet the need for variety and challenge, but also meet the need for growth. Because only when you start doing something new, then you see that when, and especially when you have succeeded, and you look back and see, oh my God, I have gone a long way.
So I think there are some interlink between certain needs.
All
When
of them. Yeah.
when you fulfill
Yeah.
one, you fulfill the others. You cannot grow without variety or stimulations.
Mm,
Or like what you shared just now, moving out of your comfort zone. Now that is exploring varietiness,
mm,
uncertainty,
yeah.
right? It's like, oh, I love surprises, but I only love good surprises. Like you ask me to stand in front of 1,000 people now, that kind of surprises I don't want. Now, if I reject that kind of varietiness or uncertainty, that means I can't grow,
Mm, mm,
right? I will
yeah.
just remain in my cocoon of certainty, comfort, no challenge. I will remain stuck.
Yeah, and I would like to quote what Brené Brown mentioned in her books, in one of her books about. So here is just like you choose courage over comfort.
So,
Only by that way then you grow. Yeah.
which brings us to the last of the six core human needs, the need for contribution. Now,
Mm.
in what way fulfilling this need completes a person?
Well, I think we are. I wanted to, from personally, I wanted to talk about the concept of ecology here. It's not only life is not about us, but about people around us, about the community, the family, the community, the countries on the globe, even the planet. So if you can, of course, if you can improve yourself to be a better person, that's perfect. Uh, but it would become more fulfilled when you think that you can bring what you have, the value that you have, and share it to the world and make contribution and make change, especially in our coaching world. If we can create impact and change, help our client to change their life and live a better life, that that is when we feel very happy and very fulfilled.
That's why some people, even after retirement, they have all the money in the world, the time, but they still feel that something unfulfilled. It's like you're asking me to sit around day in, day out. I need to contribute, not only in terms of money, but I can contribute my time, my services to others to
Yeah,
make their life more meaningful.
yeah.
Right? Like what I think what we are doing right now, we are contributing the informations and the knowledge to share with others, so that
Yeah,
this,
I hope our client, our audience will find it useful to them. Yeah.
yeah, so that useful. How can this they having this kind of awareness can incorporate how to fulfill their needs in an empowering way now that they listen to what we shared just now.
Mm,
Wonderful, mind. So bring us back to this coaching journey, Mai. If a
right.
person, after having the awareness of these six core needs, then they say, Rehmiee, so what if I know all these six core needs? I may not be as lucky as that person or this person having to fulfill all their needs at once. I have my own challenges which you don't understand. I come from these different places, different environment, blah, 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 all these things. Now, how, as a coach or a client come into coaching, how can you polish up this type of diamond?
Right.
Well, raw diamonds, unpolished diamonds, through your experience, right? How coaching helps a person, by discovering these six core needs, can use this to shape or to shift them into a better person, right? Can you please share your experience?
Big questions. Um, I think I think understanding the concept is one thing, but we need to understand also, which we could have talked about it at the beginning of this section, but it's a good point that we close it here. Why we need to understand this concept? I think that I read somewhere that in a book, it says that 90% of the success is depending on our capacity to, depending whether or not we have the following three capacity. First is the capacity to read, to understand other map of map of the world, their worldview. And secondly, after understanding it then how we can we see what is the strength and weaknesses of people and how we can project their action. And thirdly would be how we can communicate with them in the way that they wanted to be communicated. Now, communicate with them in the way that they want to be communicated, not in our way that we want to communicate. So, say we talked about the example before about if we know that somebody has a need for significant and we wanted to meet that need in a resourceful way, say with the guard or the cleaner, we pass by, see them, and say hello to them every morning, right? So that's a resourceful way. Now going back to your questions about generally with clients when they know about this concept and why do they can ask the question, how can we use that in coaching? Now in coaching, we won't coach them on the areas where they meet their needs unresourcefully. Could be stress, could be burnout, could be anxiety, could be procrastination. Why they procrastinate? Could be overwhelmed. How to overcome overwhelm? Basically, because when you have too much uncertainty and you need to chop down, break the size of the chunk of information into smaller chunks. Now, my advice to those clients, if they ask me that question, is to go back and see what are their top two needs. Because what we learn is these six core needs are also the drivers of our emotional flexibility. So look back and see what are your top core drivers. What are your top core needs? Whether it is a needs for significant, needs for certainty, or needs for challenge. Ask yourself that questions. And then the next question would be, if we review it, look it back, if you had the opportunity to change one thing, one needs, which one would have the significant impact, and that would also meet the other needs and bring you up to the next level? Because we already shared before, all these needs are somehow interlinked.
Awesome, Mike. Well, being mindful of the time.
Yeah.
It's such a very valuable information that we talk about just now. And you're saying for those who are listening out there, identify your top two core needs and start from there.
Yeah, that's true.
So now that you're aware, you're conscious of the six core needs and make two your priorities, what are you going to do about it? You have three choices. Firstly, as I like to say, DIY. Do it yourself. Figure it out yourself. Bump and bump and bump your head yourself, which I've tried and I failed. Two, second, listen, let go, do nothing. Remain as I am, remain stuck. Third, like Coach might say, once you identify, make your choice, make your decisions. Tony Robbins always say, it's in those moments of your decisions that your destiny is being shaped. Make a decision, work with a coach, work together with a coach. You can connect with any one of us. You can connect with Coach Mike. You can connect with me. We are here to help you work together because we are human too. We have been living, making mistakes, here and there to meet our six core needs too. So thank you very much for staying with us till now, and we look forward to see you again in Exploring Coaching. Thank you, Coach Mike.
Thank you, Rehmiee. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye and see you.
Bye.